What's up everyone, this is Ringside Rain, and in this episode we're going to talk about my reactions to Royal Rumble 2021. But first, I'm going to ask you guys to please hit that like button for me. It's not going to cost you anything, it's free, but it's going to help me out. Thank you so much in advance. Now, did any of your picks win the Rumble? Well, as for me, if you had seen my video, Bianca Belair was my number 2 pick to win the Women's Rumble, and Edge was my number 3 pick to win the Men's Rumble. Congratulations to both of them, and I'm glad that they punched their tickets to WrestleMania. Now let's talk about Bianca Belair first. Not only that she made history by winning the Women's Royal Rumble this year, well, she made history by being the first Black woman to win the Women's Rumble, and also she lasted in the Rumble for what? Around 57 minutes? That's the longest time in the Women's Rumble. So congratulations to Bianca Belair for not just winning the Rumble, but making history as well. Now, some of my favorite spots for Bianca Belair, let's start off with her spot with Naomi. Naomi basically ended up outside of the ring, but both of her feet were up, so she used Bianca Belair's weave so she can get back in the ring. I thought that was really clever and great teamwork by the two ladies, actually. And I thought it was a great show of how acrobatic these women are. So that was a cool spot for both of them. Also, towards the end, when it came down to Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley, I got a little nervous. A part of me was like, okay, are they gonna let the veteran Charlotte Flair win the Rumble again? However, I figured, well, maybe not. Maybe this was the point we're in. Okay, maybe Rhea Ripley would go first and it'll come down to Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. But that didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't, because it came down to Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. And honestly, to me, I mean, Rhea Ripley wasn't one of my top 3 picks, but I was actually fine if it ended up being Rhea Ripley winning the Women's Rumble. I thought both of these women deserved to win the Rumble, so it didn't really bother me that what if Rhea Ripley actually ended up beating Bianca Belair for that spot to go to WrestleMania. But anyway, I just love that the spotlight went to these two women at the end of the Women's Royal Rumble. I thought, you know, at some point they tried to help each other out, not by Rhea Ripley, you know, pulling her hair, but I actually thought that was a nice touch as well, because these women, you know, they're from NXT. I mean, Rhea Ripley is still in NXT, and Bianca Belair got pushed to the main roster, what, last year, I believe? But, you know, when I think of these two, I think of, like, you know, great women that came from NXT. So I am honestly looking forward to see Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. I really do. So I do hope that she will make her pick, and she would pick the boss. She would pick to face the boss, Sasha Banks, for her match at WrestleMania. Let's move on to Edge. Like I said earlier, Edge was my number 3 pick to win the Men's Rumble. I am so happy for him, because this is a great story of someone coming back and chasing his dream all over again. He tried last year, however, it was cut short, and, you know, due to an injury. And this year, I was really hoping that it wasn't just gonna be, you know, okay, he does his spot at the Rumble and then that's it for Edge. I'm glad that he did win. However, another moment, I guess, that wherein I got nervous, because Randy Orton got injured and was taken backstage, and I was thinking in my head, oh my God, they're like setting it up that Randy Orton's injured, blah, blah, blah. So I was thinking maybe he's gonna come back later on and, you know, try to win the Rumble and steal it from someone who put in the hard work to make it all the way to the end. So I'm glad that when he did come out, Randy Orton, it came down Edge, and then here comes Randy Orton. Randy Orton didn't win. Edge ended up beating the odds, beating Randall Keith Orton, and he ended up winning the Men's Royal Rumble. Goldberg ended up losing to Drew McIntyre, so Drew McIntyre is still our WWE champion. So now I am hoping that Edge will actually challenge the Scottish Psychopath for the WWE title come WrestleMania. Now, going back to Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, I wasn't expecting for McIntyre to retain the title, to be honest with you. Because I've always felt like every time Goldberg comes back, he always ends up winning. So I'm actually glad that McIntyre ends up retaining his WWE gold. Now, towards the end of, after their match, actually, after Drew McIntyre ends up winning the match, a good show of sportsmanship between these two guys, a show of respect. I thought that was a really nice touch to end Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg at the Royal Rumble. Also, we had Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. Wow. I'd love to see this match again, actually. These guys they wanted to destroy each other. And the golf cart, hitting, Roman Reigns driving a golf cart and hitting Kevin Owens, I thought that was hilarious. I was also on Twitter and kept seeing all the tweets about how it was also done on AEW. So I just thought it was funny. But anyway, I liked it too when Kevin Owens went up high on a forklift and just ended up smashing on Roman Reigns, was laying on the ground. But what I didn't like about this match, mistakes happen, it's live TV, whatever, was when Roman Reigns was handcuffed on one of the steel posts and the ref started counting down, and here comes Paul Heyman trying to release the tribal chief from being handcuffed, and for some crazy reason the key wasn't working. So it was kind of like an awkward moment because all that time you're just seeing this camera shot of Heyman and Roman Reigns, and the referee just stopped counting. And I was thinking in my head, well, where's Kevin Owens? They can't show Kevin Owens being down too. But it was just kind of like a weird moment. But like I said, it's live TV, In the end, the tribal chief prevailed. He ended up winning and retaining his Universal Championship. I don't see Edge challenging Roman Reigns. If he does, it will be surprising, but like I said, I do think that Edge would end up picking Drew McIntyre for his WrestleMania match. Now, what do you guys think? Post your comments down below, and please hit like, share, and subscribe to my videos. Also, if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Ray. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, for posting your comments, for following me on Instagram and Twitter. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how grateful I am and thankful I am for, whenever I read your comments. So thank you so much again. And until next time, TTYL, Jabronis.